This person is so intimidated by you with this energy of the queen. Your essence, your aura, your presence, how you carry yourself, how you move through the world, how you live your life, your beauty, your grace, your sense of personal power, and the ways in which you have expressed that out into the world in order to seize the moment to create your best life in the here and now. Your attitude, your visions for the future, anything that this person sort of knows about you that you have expressed to them, or that they are able to see and sense about just your presence in general. All of this is something which it feels like is so intimidating you've almost turned them to stone. This is somebody that is usually very confident, very self assured, but when they are in your presence, all of that changes. And yet, this is somebody who can't fully look away. It's like their attention is fixated on you. There's a sense of like, I have to have her, I have to have him. But I know that I can't come forth in an energy of inconsistency. I can't take a step forward towards this person if I am empowering that energy of being very intimidated. So this is somebody that feels like is almost kind of pacing the perimeter of your life at this particular point in time. They haven't made their intentions clearly known, and they know that you are not in a place in your life where you're going to tolerate nonsense. You might have put up a wall or a boundary with this person. They might have approached at one point in time and they were giving you mixed signals, and you snatched your power back. You slammed the door shut in their face and you carried forth. And that feels to be something that has wildly turned them on, because there's a sense of understanding within them that if they can just get past this threshold within themselves where they have a hard time looking you in the eye, standing face to face with you, taking steps and clasping the moment in order to move forth into something more with one another, that you're the type of person, you have clearly mastered the art of detachment in your life at this particular point in time. You know you have a lot to offer. You know that you're the main event. You know that you bring a lot to the table, and that you're not willing to settle or wait around for everyone. And so this is somebody that understands, like, I'm just going to be left in the dust if I don't pick up the pace, if I don't get it together, if I don't move forward with purpose, determination, and clarity, then I'm just going to miss out. I will end up on the sidelines of this person's life forever. And you are such a captivating person or a captivating presence that it's not just kind of like, oh, well, missed opportunity. I fumbled. They slipped through my grasp. Let me just carry on as usual, business as usual. This is the type of thing where you have made such an impression upon them that they know they would kind of forever be your fan. They would just be left drooling, watching you continue to step into your best life, and be very powerless to be a participant in that. And so this is somebody that it feels like is very frustrated with themselves at this point. They have such a deep desire for you, but they're also so intimidated of getting exactly what it is that they have always wanted, in the form of whatever it is that can develop between the two of you. What you have to offer checks off so many boxes for this person of like, this is the type of person I've been trying to manifest. You're better than their best hopes and dreams. You've given them a chance. You gave them the time of day once. And circumstances, it feels like, have changed, or this person is kind of like teetering on the brink of being somebody who is kind of just becoming a footnote in your life as you are continuing to move forward. And they understand that something needs to shift as far as their communication is concerned. And it might even just be that it's very like hard to continue to have conversations with you, because when they are in your presence, they can almost see the essence of a version of themselves that they don't usually kind of embody. They may be somebody who has come to believe that, like, oh, you have to be humble, you got to just be really kind of like quiet about who you are and your personal power. But in your presence, there's a sense of kind of like healthy ego is encouraged and invited. It's two people celebrating one another, lifting one another up, pointing out wonderful characteristics, helping each other to kind of like work through flaws or deficits, or holding space and patience for individuals to kind of work through that on their own. That's what you kind of invite into your life. That's what you celebrate. That's the type of circle that you've cultivated around you. That is what you bring to the table. And this is something that is so out of the ordinary from what this person has ever experienced in romance or even in like friendships, family dynamics, community relationships. This is like everything that they could have wanted. They know that to have a romantic experience with you, to take things further, to get beyond that threshold of intimidation, it would change their life forever in the best possible way. But there's also a sense of fearing kind of like who they might become if they continue to take steps forward towards you. They fear their own empowerment because they can sense themselves when they've given into this, when they've surrendered to this, when they've been able to kind of soften into the flow state with this, their light shines even brighter. That has a palpable effect upon them. Other people notice that as well, and so that can be part of this intimidation factor as well. It's not just kind of like, hey, I'm moving forward and beginning a romance with this really incredible and amazing person who is shining so brightly, but my life is changing as well for the better, and it is helping this person to realize just how much they've kind of like contained themselves, diluted themselves, minimized themselves to fit into some kind of performative role that they had come to expect was sort of like what was expected of them prior to you coming into their world and awakening to the reality that like there's a different way to live, there's a different way to be. We have the orator. So it feels like your conversations with one another have been very thought-provoking for this person, but even like the sound of your voice or direct exchanges that they've had with you in the past, this is something it feels like that has activated things within. You are somebody that what you focus on, how you communicate, how you even hold space for this person to express themselves, they may have shared things and your response was kind of like not what was expected. It wasn't just surface level chit chat. It's like you went deep. You were very honest, very authentic, and that as well may have been something very intimidating because it feels like this is something that it's awakened them to the fact that finally they've encountered someone real. It feels like this person is tired of playing games. They're tired of fake people. They're tired of the performance. They've been telling themselves for a while, I just want to meet someone real. I want to meet someone that keeps it real. I want to meet someone that I can be authentic with. And they weren't finding that. And then all of a sudden you came into their reality and it's like, okay, here it is. Now what? And that is something which it feels like has them stumbling at this particular point in time because you see through the masks and the illusions. You invite them to step beyond those masks and illusions within themselves by presenting that as kind of your best foot forward. And so this is like an invitation towards vulnerability, which is something that is very compelling. But this is also somebody that's like, I don't know how to act in that sense. I don't know what to do. This is like a version of me that can be seen in the light of day, or I can step into a type of romance that uncovers a version of me that's always been in hiding or that I've never discovered before. But I know once I take that step forward, there's no turning back. And I know once I start to embody that more and more within the exchanges with you, experiences with you, that this is something that is going to continue to have an effect on other areas of my life. And this is somebody that almost is like, it feels really good that that's happening, but they're questioning within themselves, like, am I allowed to feel that good about this positive change? We also have the spymaster. Yeah, so there's definitely somebody that's keeping tabs on you from afar, even if they've gone quiet, or again, it's almost like they're so intimidated that they turn to stone in your presence. It's kind of like, okay, this got really close for comfort. This is really real. This is really happening. I really have this opportunity. And it has kind of like stopped them in their tracks at this particular point in time. They may be very kind of like dry in terms of their conversation, or you haven't really had many exchanges recently, but you're definitely on this person's mind. They're trying to kind of like puzzle their way through sort of like, why am I so drawn to this person and yet I am holding back? What am I so afraid of? It's like you've been open with them. You've been receptive to them. Everything has gone really well. There's nothing about you that signals a red flag. There's nothing about you that is kind of like, oh, that's such a flaw. Who'd want to be with someone like that? No. In fact, you embody all the qualities that this person's like, I'd be proud to have that as my life partner, as my girlfriend, as my boyfriend, as my fiance, as my spouse, as the person that I'm dating. That is something that, you know, I think would be a really wonderful thing because you're a good person. You got your head on straight. You got your priorities right. You are grounded, and yet you are also a dreamer. You bring a lot of really beautiful energy to the table, and it's real. It's not something that, is performative or manipulative. And so again, you're checking off all the boxes for this person of, like, in general, just types of people that they want to have in their life. Romance aside, it feels like they value, like, the friendships that they have, or even the dynamics of, like, family members that they're particularly close with. It's people that keep it real. It's people that aren't afraid to, like, be outspoken, be sort of the lone voice in the room, even when everyone else is saying something different, that aren't afraid to march to the beat of their own drum. Like, this is something that this person really values and really respects. But when it comes to you in this situation and the door is wide open for romance to develop, it's kind of like they're stopping short and they don't know why. So as much as they are kind of like taking some time at this point, or rather are sort of reflexively kind of stuck at this particular point in time, they're holding back. There's a desire to move forward, to speak more, to engage more with you, to have more like meaningful moments. But this is some kind of like threshold, or like a hurdle they need to get over within themselves, that to experience something further with you, it will be life changing. You already have changed so many things about the perception this person had about what they were able to like call into their reality, what they were able to magnetize in, the nature of kind of like wonderful qualities that could realistically exist within one person. Like, you've kind of raised that standard or raised that bar for them already. And so there's a sense within them that is like, if this becomes like an actual love story, if this sort of, moves beyond this place of like, I have all this desire, but I'm holding back, you are the type of person that is going to change the way that I love forever. And even if this is something that we only have like a temporary connection with one another, like a seasonal connection, or, there's a time period where we're together and then we go our separate ways further down the road, I know that you are somebody that is going to rewrite the paradigm of everything that I will call into my life, when I know I will be worthy of, deserving of, certainly what I won't settle for again, because I've already had a taste of you, and this has changed my perspective on so many things. So this is almost somebody that feels like the next step forward would be to dive in deep with you, and that there's no coming back from that. So they are keeping their sights on you. It's almost like watching you from afar is again causing them to just sort of like pace on the perimeter of your life with this desire. It's like this animal instinct, this hunger within them is building, and they're getting very frustrated with themselves, sort of like, I want this person so much, this feels so right, everything aligns. You're a high quality person, you're top shelf. You are not somebody that they'd be like scraping the bottom of the barrel with, or having to kind of like make excuses for you to sort of like justify to other people in their life why they were in a connection with someone like you, why they were dating someone like you. This is somebody that is like, my star would shine even brighter having someone like this by my side. And not just from a place of ego and how you present on the surface, it's like everything about you, who you are as a person. So this is something where it's like they're trying to kind of like search within and sort of like, dude or lady, why are you holding back? Why aren't you taking that step forward? Why are you hesitating when this is like wish fulfillment plus some? We also have the storyteller. Yeah, so this person knows that they need to come correct, or don't even bother approaching you at all. Whatever has happened in terms of like communication sort of unraveling between the two of you, or, where it was kind of like they were taking steps forward and then they started to hesitate. Something in your instinct maybe was like, I don't have time for uncertainty. I've been through the ringer of like the hot, cold situations. I chased people to the ends of the earth and I outgrew that version of myself. So I don't do that anymore. Whatever kind of your background looks like that has prompted you to kind of have to master the art of detachment, raise your standards, do some shadow work, master those kind of wounded parts of yourself that might have kind of operated in a way that wasn't in sort of your highest good, wasn't in integrity, wasn't very self-loving in romances of the past that you've like elevated beyond, you've healed beyond, you've worked to kind of change those things within yourself. This person understands that like you're not going to tolerate nonsense or uncertainty for very much longer or at all with them. There may be a boundary that's firmly in place that also has them very intimidated, sort of like, okay, I need to just be totally truthful. There's no room for games here. I can't come wearing a mask or, even anticipating or kind of bracing themselves for the type of toxicity they may have been used to in the past. This could even be somebody that's like, this feels like it's too good to be true. There's the opportunity to have authenticity. That's everything that I've wanted. But I have become so accustomed to people that are just taking me for a ride, just telling me what I want to hear, just using my sentimentality or my kindness or my efforts against me. And you're not that type of person. You're offering something genuine. You're offering something real. You're offering something reciprocal. And yet, I don't know how to move now in this sense. And the easiest thing is to just come as they are towards you. And so this is somebody that feels like they need to be fully prepared to be very open, to be very vulnerable, that you are someone who is not afraid to like state your intentions. You're someone who's not afraid to ask for what you want. You get what you want because you're the type of person that's like, if I'm not being celebrated in the circumstances that I'm in, I love myself enough to set my sights toward the horizon and to keep it moving. You are not in a season of your life where you're going to sit around and wait for anyone to figure it out. And so this is very apparent to this person, kind of like, okay, there's a window of opportunity that exists between the two of us in the here and now. Time is limited. Time is of the essence. Any day now you could meet someone else and be off the market, or your attentions are elsewhere, or someone else could come in and not have this level of like, I'm so intimidated and so I've turned to stone. I'm just sort of standing there. I'm afraid to take steps forward because this is exactly what I've wanted. And I didn't appreciate just how much I had become acclimated to the experience of disappointment, that when wish fulfillment shows up, I don't seize the moment. Like, this person is like overthinking at this particular point in time. They're very frustrated with themselves. If they have told anyone else about this situation, there may be people in their life that are like, I don't understand why you're just standing there. I don't understand what you need to talk yourself into when you've already expressed that everything seems right about this person. We met this person, we checked this person out, we've seen you and this person together, it feels right. So why are you just standing there? Like, this person really understands that this is an opportunity for a different type of experience of reciprocity in romance. And this is almost something that it feels like they know they have to get their story straight. They know that they have to come forward with like total honesty, a willingness to be like seen on all levels, and to witness you as you are willing to kind of share of yourself on deeper levels than they had ever experienced with anyone before, than even existed within people that they were in romance before. You may be somebody who's a very evolved individual. Again, like top shelf energy. You have invested a lot of time and effort in cultivating this version of you, and that is very clear. And so this is almost the sense of kind of like, this person has been, playing around with like cubic zirconia, and all of a sudden here's a diamond that's right there, that's accessible for them. And it's like, yeah, this is anybody's wish fulfillment as far as romance is concerned. So why am I so afraid of kind of just seizing the moment when I know the other options that I've had in the past, or the experiences that I've had in the past, those were all just artificial. There was no real substance to them. It didn't fulfill me on a total level. And the people that I was dealing with were really crummy. They were people that just left me feeling like I'd betrayed myself on some level, or I'd wasted my time, because there was only so much they were capable of offering. And you are the whole package. And so this is something where this person is like, I need to get with the program. I need to move forward. I need to take a step. And there's almost like no sympathy that they are getting like from around them, or even really inside of themselves, as far as this like holding pattern that they're in, because it absolutely makes sense to experience you, to experience what can happen next here. And yet they are standing still and kind of like afraid of falling in love, really, for the first time. So, those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.